Good morning. Happy Friday. Hot takes Goodman and Haertl. Both of us decided to wear green this morning, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I did not call you and ask you what you were going to be wearing.
I missed that call. We usually are doing kind of fashion tips for each because you and I are such fashionistas.
Yeah, this is serendipitous.
Yes.
By the way, this is the best analogy that I can come up with. Every time the Ryder Cup happens, I get so pumped to watch it.
Yeah.
And I am Charlie Brown, and the Americans are Lucy, and the ball gets pulled, and I'm like, really? Right now, the Americans are getting slaughtered,
as they always seem to do, right? I mean, it's such a Euro thing now, and I was chuckling yesterday when I was looking. I just looked at the line, just the Americans are favored, and I'm like, I should have gotten all over that. I mean, I don't really do that very much anymore, but I should have been all over that because it used to be when I was growing up, the Americans dominated the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Dominated it. But over the last 32 years, forget it. The Euros have just absolutely, I don't know if it means more to them. They're not better players.
No.
They're just not. But whatever. I mean, it's like you can almost set your watch to it. It's ridiculous.
This is how sad the Ryder Cup is. If you are a fan, you know when the Americans won the Ryder Cup because it happens so infrequently.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they went to Kohler, Wisconsin and won.
Yeah. They don't win on foreign soil anymore at all. I mean, that's like, forget it. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That would be a good psychological pondering because you look on paper at the players that the Americans have and you'd think, well, I mean, I'll bet on these guys in majors all day long. Right. But when you get into a team situation, for whatever reason, it just simply hasn't equated.
I was listening to some analysis before the Ryder Cup, and I'm like, wow, that is so incredibly insightful. Help me out. They're doing alternate shot format in this year's Ryder Cup, right?
Yep.
That means you're using one ball. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the way the pairings were this morning for, I believe, two of the European pairings, they happened to use the same ball on tour.
Huh.
And as you know, playing at a high level, everybody likes their own ball. They understand the spin rate. So, hacks like me, when I walk into Target to buy balls, I don't give a shit if it's Titleist, TaylorMade, Callaway. It's not going to affect my game. I'm not out there shaking.
You go to Target to get your golf balls? I like that.
Well, they're cheaper.
Okay.
I'm not going to go to the PGA store where it's going to cost more. Plus, Target's right around the corner from my house.
But yeah, not a boy.
If I'm shopping at Target for golf stuff, that should tell you how good my golf game is. It's not
your
as
golf
if
game. Fine. There's nothing wrong with your golf game. I just get a chuckle that you buy your balls at Target.
Listen, I didn't buy my clubs there.
Okay, good.
Okay. I mean, if I told you I just bought tees at Target, are you still going to poke at me? Or do I need to go to Golf Galaxy?
No, it's all good for tees. We're good on tees.
Just so you know, the last time I played, conveniently, I lost my sand wedge.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
And it's unfortunate, but I went to buy another one. And, Target had a deal. No, I'm kidding. I went to a golf place.
Do you have it with the wooden shaft and the plastic blade, down there? Maybe, the ones that my 6-year-old would have used when he was starting out. That's what you get at Target.
That's exactly what I did. Hey, real quick, I want to let you know about Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos. They always have great promotions right now. They are giving away a Ford Maverick Tremor truck or $25,000 in cash the weekend of October 24th. Daily cash drawings are every 45 minutes between 10 a.m. and midnight. Players can earn entries with every locked up jackpot or by redeeming players' points on their players' cards, Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, family-owned casinos that treat you like family. Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Sasquatch Casino, a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Payton stated the obvious yesterday at his press conference. He doesn't think his offense right now has an identity yet, and adds, that's on the coaches. Is it truly on the coaches, or is it on Sean Payton, who calls plays?
Yeah, well, I mean, right. That offensive staff bears responsibility.
Yep.
Players bear responsibility. You would expect with more of a veteran presence on this team, and I know that people will still describe them as a younger team, and I guess technically they are younger, but young doesn't always equate to non-veteran. You can be young being veteran. They're fairly veteran. You would expect them to be a little further along right now in their continuity and consistency, especially when, and I know we're going to get into this, especially when you have, by most metrics, one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League. I mean, that's the basis of where you start your offense. So if you've got that as a foundation, and you're still looking for consistency, or in this case, an identity, yeah, there's something wrong with things on the fringes, right?
The Bengals do not have a good defense. I'm not breaking any news here at all. If for some reason the Broncos offense doesn't get right against the Bengals defense, should Sean Payton actually consider giving up play calling duties and giving it to Russ?
I can't. I don't know about being in a world where that ever happens.
I didn't ask. I'm not asking.
No, I don't think
will he.
No.
Should he?
Oh, should he? Nah. Here's my thing right now. The biggest deal that I would have right now in that regard would be not the design of the offense. I like the creativity. I like the design of the offense. I like the way that he involves people in the offense. But in terms of getting the play in, getting it so that Bo Nix has time at the line of scrimmage, so that there is time to process, read defenses, things of that nature, I'm a little disappointed that we're still having those moments 4 weeks in. Now, 3 weeks in, we'll wait and see, give them a chance to prove themselves in week 4. But Eric, I mean, every single game, and it's not like it's epidemic, but every single game we have seen slowness, getting plays in, getting personnel groupings in, and getting your playoff at the line of scrimmage. I don't want to see Bo Nix back there quickly clapping his hands to get, a snap off at the line of scrimmage. I really want to see an offense that's calm, cool, collected, and confident this weekend. Because I think if you can play that way, in other words, bear with me, can you play slow enough to play fast, right?
Yep.
Can you have the clarity of thought at the line of scrimmage to play quickly as an offense? And I think that that's kind of the goal. And I understand that there's challenges getting there. I do. But I think that the Broncos should be a little further along in that regard. That is at least concerning to me.
Well, here, this offensive line is the same as last year.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback is the same as last year. Mims, Franklin, Sutton, same as last year. Troutman, same as last year.
Yep.
I understand there's a difference in the running back room. And, by the way, I mentioned Troutman. Evan Ingram is practicing.
Yep.
We'll see if he winds up playing. But it's all of these packages, guys shuffling in and out. To me, it's kind of like you're hosting a party and it's in your living room, and every 15 minutes you're rearranging the furniture and bringing in new paintings to change the look.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Just keep it simple. It's too complicated, apparently. I thought that he shortened his play calls.
Yeah.
So why is he
Yeah. Why are we doing that?
Why is Bo Nix still doing that?
And that's not a Bo Nix thing. That's a when the hell is he getting the play thing, basically. And then he's got to regurgitate it. And, and then, but I mean, you got to allow him time to process, which is one of the most difficult things to do for any quarterback, especially at this level. Allow him time to process at the line of scrimmage. He has proven to be ahead of the game in his ability to process at the line of scrimmage. Don't make it a challenge for him to do it even faster than he's proven that he can do it to this point.
I am not in Bo Nix's helmet to hear how Sean Payton is calling plays.
Right.
But what we do know about Sean Payton is that his cadence when he does press conferences can be kind of slow. And that's my impersonation of him.
Yeah, you did well. But you need to throw in a lot of ahs and ums and pregnant pauses and stuff like that. Right. And there's nothing that look. That's fine. That's how he communicates. That's how he communicates. Right?
Situation.
He communicates. I mean, that's how he does it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Except maybe if you are elongating the play call in the short time that you really have. Now, remember, the time is you're done at 10 seconds. And hell, at 10 seconds, you should be done anyway. You should be out of the huddle and at the line of scrimmage, allowing your quarterback time to survey the line of scrimmage. And I'm not saying that this is epidemic. It's at particular times and places. But, and I will say another thing, too. Why don't the Broncos hurry things up a little bit? In that, I like them when they play at a higher speed. I like it when they're, for lack of a better description, in hurry up a little bit. And I keep waiting for them to be a little bit more in hurry up, and we've seen it in just small glimpses.
Are you saying that should be standard operating procedure like the Bills of the early 1990s?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Or are you saying mix it up every once in a while?
Yeah, mix it up every once in a while. Just, it's kind of like, I'll use a baseball analogy. Pitchers like to change the eye level of batters. So in other words, you don't stay down, even down and in or down and away all the time, because a batter will get a comfort level in basically just sighting a third of the plate. But so that's why you elevate pitches every now and then. You elevate them up around their eye level so that you change the comfort level and the expectation of what a batter is looking for. I think you can do the same thing with your pace of play. And the Broncos are good in hurry up. I mean, the times that he's, I looked this just because I'm weird this way. I look back at some of my logs during preseason training camp, and I noted the success that they continually had in the hurry up, in elevated speeds, or in the 2-minute drive. He was very good consistently in the 2-minute drive.
Most quarterbacks are.
And most are. Exactly. And
because they're not thinking, they're just doing.
Right. And I don't think you want to do that all the time, but as a change of pace, I think it's a valuable asset. And I would be surprised if we don't see a little more of that here in the next couple of weeks, but whatever.
I love the idea. Love it. Because yes, changing the pace puts the defense on their heels, and they can't substitute either.
Right.
But with the way this team is compiling 3 and outs, like a kid 10 years ago was compiling Pokemon cards, how fast is your defense back on the field?
Yeah, that's totally fair. Yep.
Right. If you are 3 and out. This is what I think Sean Payton truly needs to do this offseason. He's a really smart guy. He needs to talk to his analytics department, or really sit in a room and light some candles. No lattes for him.
None.
And truly try to figure out why his history is 24-22 in the month of September. That's his record. And 31-18 in October. He's got more than enough data to look at to figure out what the problem is. Now, granted, when he had Drew Brees, this is a different situation, or as he would say, situation. I think one reason why this is happening is Sean Payton loves to show off. Look at my offense. I'm going to show you all these personnel packages, give you all these different looks, try and confuse you. The only one he's really confusing, honestly, is his own offense. So I think by the time October hits, when his record is better, the guys have gotten the hang of that offense. But it's taking 4 games or so to get there.
Yeah, I think
that's the reason why.
Yeah. It's certainly reflective of his ability to adjust, not necessarily adjust on the fly, but to adjust with enough data that you collect in the first 4 weeks, which of course is his now famous rush to the quarter pole to gain all of this information. Well, what do you do with the information when you get it 4 weeks in? Well, Sean Payton figures it out pretty damn quickly.
Bruce, let's look at the opening game. Nate Jackson and I do a show on Gorilla, and he preached this hard to Sean Payton. Keep it simple for the opening game. And he didn't, and Payton didn't. He didn't keep it simple for his offense. Instead, he went back to being Sean Payton. Okay, first down, whatever happens, let's bring in 3 new guys. Second down, let's bring in 2 new guys. Keep it simple because your players are going to appreciate it. It's like you're putting way too much on their plate this early in the season, and they're not executing. If you want to run, 20 different plays and 20 different formations in the first half, how about master like 3 or 4 of them?
Yeah.
A lot of teams have proven if they have like 6 to 10 great plays, but nobody can stop those plays, those are the ones you just keep running over and over again.
It's kind of why I talked about hurry up, because the first few plays of install that you do way back in July are generally those plays that you learn first and that you already know anyway if you've been there, but you start to reacquaint yourself. And so you have a level of understanding of plays that you put in very early in the process, right? Not plays that you're putting in week to week to combat the offense that you're playing and things of that nature. I'm talking about the things that you're very familiar with. I think that you can make a reasonable argument for depending on those things, especially early on. So I won't disagree with you guys on that. I think you're right. I think by the time you get to week 4, 5, 6, 7, when you're into that second quarter, you do have an understanding of who you are. You have a better understanding of who you are relative to everyone else in the league. You figure that everyone is getting a little bit more familiar with verbiage, the nomenclature, all of the offense, the defense, what you're trying to do. And it makes sense. You should be able to function at a higher level. But what's wrong with trying to do that in the first 4 weeks? Do you necessarily have to test your team's sophistication so early in the first 4 weeks? I mean, I don't know, I guess, the answer to that. I'm not going to push back on Sean Payton and a lifelong, work of figuring all of this stuff out. But yeah, I mean, it seems to me the desire to get off to a quick start has not always been good for him.
I understand there are different personnel packages.
Sure.
Yeah. With that, just for fun, and let's make this really, really quick.
All right.
Yep. Let's look at the Broncos, who they trotted out there. First play against the Chargers. 5 offensive linemen, all here last year. Then you have Cortland Sutton here last year. Let's call it Franklin or Mims here last year. Troutman here last year. Nix here last year. Somebody new at running back. Totally understand that. Now let's throw in, let's call it, 3 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 tight end. Does that add up to 11 to you?
Yeah.
9 to 10 of the guys out there were with this team last year.
Yeah, they understand what they're trying to do. Yeah, or
apparently-
should.
No, apparently they don't.
Well,
Apparently they don't.
I mean, I'll go back to your phrase, get right. I think that on a lot of levels, this is a get right weekend, and that's not being casual or expectant about the result. You've still got to take care of your business. But I would imagine not just winning the game, but the manner in which you win the game is almost as important as winning the game. I really think you need to see, if you're Sean Payton, I think that you need to see some consistency, some continuity, some complementary. These are the things that you really want to see. I think it's important for them moving forward.
I got to tell you something. In the NFL, it's about winning, and I get it. And if you win ugly, I suppose that's okay. You want to win convincingly, I get it. But for this particular game, they need to paint a Picasso on offense.
I agree.
They need style points in this one, because if they look like they are running in sand again, I understand in the Colts game, their offense was really good. The other 2 games, not really. I understand they put up points,
right?
But look at how they put up points. Okay, with less than 2 minutes, they scored a touchdown. When during the opening 28 minutes, they couldn't do shit. Right? They had a really good pass to Dobbins behind the line of scrimmage, in which the pass was poor. It was a great catch, and bang, there goes J.K. Dobbins. And then you had of course, that pass to Sutton in the first half, right?
Yeah.
Those were your 2 great plays on offense, and everything else was meh.
Yeah. The important thing about how you look doing it is the confidence that comes with laying a foundation on which to play for the rest of the season. Right now, the offense is going in such fits and starts that I don't know what level of confidence you have in any element of what you're trying to do on offense. So you want to have a foundation, a baseline that you can count on each and every week. And then you can go and be creative off of it. But the consistency of what you can expect offensively is what you're trying to gain here. So rhythm. I think that more than anything, though, if you're looking for one word for me to describe what you're looking for on Monday night, is rhythm. You really want to have good rhythm in all 3 phases, so there's some connectivity. I don't think you want obviously you're always looking for the perfect game. I'm not sure there is such a thing, but you want something closer to that. Something that denotes rhythm, understanding, and consistency in your attacks.
Bruce, if you can't get right against one of the worst defenses in the league that is giving up over 30 points a game, and teams are trampling them in the process, you're not getting right against anybody.
Yeah.
All like it is.
Yeah.
That's why this game, and that's what I mean by style points as much as anything else. You got, clearly you need to do better than 9 first downs.
Yeah.
You got to sustain drives. We need to see if it comes down to that with field position. We need a couple of 80-yard drives that are sustainable.
That'd be nice. I'd like to see that. Sure.
Time of possession needs to be lopsided in this game. If this is a game in which we put the shoe on the other foot, this cannot come down to the Broncos winning with a field goal as time expires. To me, that's a win, but that's a foreshadowing of things to come, which in my head is a loss.
Yeah, you're not setting yourself up for future success by eking one out here.
And here's going to be the narrative. If this is a close game, throughout, and the Broncos win, you know what the narrative is going to be? It's hard to win in the NFL. Every team, the margins are so no, I don't want to hear that shit about this game because they have the Super Bowl champs coming up next. Yeah. And yes, they have some teams that aren't playing well moving forward with the Giants and the Cowboys. I get that. They might be able to feast on the weaklings of the NFL, but then they still get the Packers. They get the Chiefs twice. They get the Chargers again, right?
Yeah.
They do have some tough
games. They go to Washington, right? I mean, they've got some tough moments. No question.
Okay. Coming up after the break, ESPN listed its top 100 players in the league, and the Nuggets are well represented. That's good news, right? Unfortunately, Oklahoma City is even better represented. That's next. Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. And don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corn bake. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch in the DTC. Both locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook is a hangout bar or great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, the DTC, and coming soon to Parker. They are the sports bar.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a Ford Maverick Tremor truck or over $25,000 in cash the weekend of October 24th. Daily cash drawings are every 45 minutes between 10 a.m. and midnight. Players can earn daily entries with every locked-up jackpot or by redeeming players' points on their players' cards. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, loose slots, phenomenal promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
And welcome back. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Nola Jane in the heart of Lodo. No one does Cajun cuisine better than Nola Jane. Go see why their award-winning menu is the best in town.
Everybody loves a good list, including us. So when ESPN put out its top 100, You know we're going to talk about it.
Of course.
Right. Nuggets, 5 starters in ESPN's top 100 player ranking. They have 6 total in the top 87. Jokic number 1, Gordon number 40, Murray 46, Christian Brown 62, Cam Johnson 67, 87, Valanciunas. That's impressive, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, here's OKC.
Do you have a hold my beer moment coming up?
Here we go.
All right.
OKC. Now, remember, these are people voting. It doesn't mean it's true.
Of course.
But if we're being completely honest, let's kind of flush this out then. Okay. OKC has 6 players in the top 64, 3 players in the top 24. Holmgren at 24, Jalen Williams at 11, SGA at 2. With that, have the Nuggets really closed the gap on OKC?
Close the gap? No. I mean, no. Are they in a better position this year than they were this time last year? I will argue until the cows come home, yes.
What does that mean when the cows? Why do you pick cows?
I don't know. Do cows come home? I've been told that all my life that cows come home.
Does it rain cats and dogs?
That's a good question.
And who came up with that?
I don't know.
It makes no sense.
Somebody having a psychedelic moment or something.
So it was in the 60s at Woodstock when somebody said, look, it's raining cats and dogs.
I think I could honestly say I would have taken a pass on Woodstock, even though it's kind of one of those historical, benchmarks. I think
you don't want to go to Burning Man?
No, I have no interest in Burning Man. I really don't, right. Which may say things about me that I'm not sure I like. But anyway, here's the thing.
What if Bruce played at Burning Man?
Well, he wouldn't, but then I might get to that point. Right. Yes, that's a possibility. Yes, I think that the Nuggets, from a standpoint of other people's perception, let's underscore and make sure that we get this. These are people that pay attention to the game of basketball, so I don't just totally dismiss it.
Right.
I didn't have a problem with anything that I saw in it. I thought that there were 2 curiosities for me relative to the Nuggets, where Jamal Murray was, yep. And the fact that he is he listed as the 3rd best player for the Nuggets? And would you say that he's the 3rd most important player for the Nuggets? Maybe that's a conversation for another day. I think that maybe you could have 2 different things there. But what I thought was interesting was that Cam Johnson was ahead in the rankings of the guy that he was traded for in Michael Porter Jr. Barely, but okay.
He's a much better player than Michael Porter Jr. I don't give a shit what the rankings.
I think he can be a much better player than Michael Porter Jr. I think he is.
No, he is a much better player.
He's about 3 inches smaller. So
is he better defensively?
Yes. But I'm not going to say he's a much.
He is a much better player.
Okay.
He is. No, he is.
I will let you have your thoughts.
One thing.
Yeah.
He does one thing. He has a great shot,
mm-hmm.
and he's a great player when he's on.
Yeah.
But he's not always on. When you have Cam Johnson, he does a lot of different things for you. Michael Porter Jr. is a one-trick pony. And for 82 games, we don't see that trick every game.
No. And that's the problem. I do think that Cam Johnson is a significantly better player and upgrade for MPJ. So I thought that was interesting. But yes, I would say they haven't bridged the gap by any stretch, but they are.
Really?
No, they haven't. No, I mean, that would.
They did go to 7 games last year.
That
with no bench.
That would indicate to but okay. But there are other.
And MPJ wasn't effective in that series.
If you think the Nuggets are that close to Oklahoma City, why'd they make so many changes? They could have stuck with the people they had. Well, and they were a game 7 to Oklahoma. They had to make changes.
No, I agree with you. For starters, it was as much about Michael Porter Jr.'s contract
mm-hmm.
than anything else. So they upgraded. You can argue. I understand your argument. If they're that close, why do you make any changes? you make those changes because you just improved your team dramatically. If you're close with somebody, but you have the opportunity to make your team incredibly better by bringing in Cam Johnson and getting rid of PJ, I'm all for it. If you are in the market to get Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway Jr.,
sure,
I am all for it.
Absolutely.
And now you have Valanciunas? Really?
Of course you're better.
Jokic's stats will be down this year, which is not a bad thing.
Sure.
Valanciunas is going to play. I'll take my chances with Valanciunas out there to guard Hartenstein or Steen. I mean, same thing with Chet.
I like Hartenstein. I think he's a good player. And the Nuggets had him once, which is interesting.
Right.
But
what I'm saying is that their bench is better and their starting lineup is now stronger.
But here's the thing, Eric. Here's the thing, and you know this better than anyone, that's a one-dimensional comparison because we're looking on paper. There is a very real possibility, and I believe this in my heart of hearts, that the Nuggets could be a far better team than they were a year ago. I'll go ahead and say it. Not just a better team. They could be a far better team and still lose to Oklahoma City in 5 games in a playoff series. That's where the dimensions, that's where things are decided. And we don't know how that looks. I like the chances for the Nuggets to be closer in the conversation with Oklahoma City. I think, have they bridged the gap totally? No, I don't think so. I think going in, Oklahoma City is still a better team than the Nuggets. But I do think the Nuggets have put themselves in a position to, A, get off to a better start, B, with better depth, to be more sustainable for longer in the season, because hopefully they're not going to have to deal with the Jokic goes out, suddenly we suck syndrome. Right? So
when Michael Porter Jr. was out there, it was 5-on-4. What do I mean by that? You didn't have to work to guard Michael Porter Jr. For the most part, he just stood around.
Yeah,
that was it.
Catch and shoot guy from one spot.
It was 4-on-5. To me, the great equalizer is twofold. Number one, I'll start with number 2. Jamal Murray. If Jamal Murray can become playoff Jamal Murray, the Thunder are cooked. The Thunder are cooked for this reason, because I'm going to tether this together.
Okay.
Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Akeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, all great players, right? Hall of Fame players, first ballot Hall of Famers. All those guys were here. Michael Jordan was here. The gap was that wide. And with all due respect to SGA, he's here. Jokic is here. He is one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball.
Right.
Nikola Jokic. SGA is nowhere near that. And I don't think he ever will be mentioned in that conversation. It's because of that gap that you have hope for the Nuggets.
Yes, I would agree.
The same thing with Michael Jordan and then everybody else who played. Was anybody really close to Michael Jordan, honestly? No.
No, not really.
And you're talking about great players.
Yeah.
To me, that's where Jokic is specifically with SGA. I don't care if he won an MVP. Listen, Charles Barkley won an MVP.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, we don't need to talk about MVP.
He won an MVP, right, and then Jordan kicked his ass.
I mean, SGA is
Malone won an MVP, and then Jordan kicked his ass, too.
Yeah, absolutely. SGA is a marvelous player, tremendous talent, guy that we have liked from jump and foresaw the...
listen, don't butter the guy up. Just get to your point.
No.
Jokic is that much better.
But you could see Oklahoma City coming 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yes.
You could see, and it was because of SGA and the guys around him, but it was the intelligence of building a team. And that's where they are with, Jokic, just by virtue of the position that he plays and how things work through him, is a more dynamic presence. But it's a question of the guys around him now, right? SGA has done a pretty damn good job with the guys around him. Now we'll see whether the Nuggets can answer that kind of call.
SGA is a great player. Nikola Jokic is a historically great player. That's why the gap is this. And when you have an historically great player, all you have to do is put some really good pieces around him, and all of those guys get lifted up as well. That's why
you hope so. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well,
I mean, that certainly was the case in their first championship.
That's right.
And he has elevated, and you can make the argument, even with the team that they've had, he has still elevated people. It's just that they weren't that good, and their depth was not good.
Okay, I'll ask you. Which roster, 1 to 12, is better? The championship roster or this one?
Well, I think on a linear level, in one dimension, this roster is better than that roster.
Yes, it is.
But you had that magic of what happens sometimes in a season where you stay healthy, guys play at higher levels. You've got all of that magic chemistry that happens at the right time, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not going to argue in a one-dimensional, give me these names on a piece of paper and these names on a piece of paper, that this roster isn't better.
Something else to consider. Jamal Murray was unbelievable during that run.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the rankings with Aaron Gordon being ahead of Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon should be ahead of Jamal Murray. Right now, Aaron Gordon is a more valuable player to this team than Jamal Murray is.
I think he's a better player. I'm not sure he's more valuable.
He's more valuable because you don't know what you're getting from Jamal Murray. Here's the thing with Aaron Gordon. We know his ceiling. Generally speaking, right? We know his ceiling. For Aaron Gordon, floor ceiling. For Jamal Murray, it's this.
Mm-hmm.
Where's he going to be this upcoming season?
Yeah.
If he plays too close to his ceiling and he is a major threat out there, then I like the Nuggets' chances.
I'm not sure if Jamal Murray
What's that?
I just don't know if Jamal Murray has that in him.
I don't know if he does.
How many years do we have to wait for him to be that kind of player, night in and night out?
The problem is, in a series between Oklahoma City and the Nuggets, the problem for Murray is he's getting Caruso thrown at him and Dort thrown at him.
Yeah.
That's why matchups matter.
Yes. And that's why I would allow, in my own sensibility, Aaron Gordon's a better player. I don't think he's a more important player, just because Jamal Murray plays with the ball in his hands so much, and defensively, he is going to be asked to deal with guys that on the other side have the ball in their hands so much, especially in the playoffs when you've got to make stops with guys that have the ball in their hands so much. He is just such a huge key for the Nuggets to recognize the potential that they have. You've got to have consistency from your point guard. And that is such a duh thing. I get it. Obviously, any team has got to have consistency from their point guard. But when you stop to think about the pick and roll and the way that Jokic and Murray function with one another, we've seen it at such a high level that if you can just approach that level in a consistent fashion, it makes it so much easier to be great. And they just can't, I just haven't seen that enough consistently over the years.
It's funny, we keep talking about offense. We need to wrap this thing up.
Sure.
The Nuggets defensively have improved.
Yes, no question about that.
Listen, if Bruce Brown doesn't score a point, fine. Put him on somebody and just let Bruce Brown shut that guy down. Valanciunas is an upgrade defensively.
Yes, no question.
Upgrade defensively.
No
Christian
question.
Brown is going to grow as a defensive player as well. Tim Hardaway Jr., he plays defense as well as his dad did. And his dad was not a good defender.
Yeah. But he's big. And he's long.
And he can score.
Look, from a standpoint of their defensive aptitude and their depth, this is a much better team than the one that finished last season. No question about it. How that all plays out early in the season, throughout the season. Valanciunas is, you've already talked about his upgrade defensively. What about just allowing Jokic time away from the floor so you're not tearing the tread off the tire with him?
And they play a similar game as well.
Right.
So you can keep running the same offense.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for us. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Make it the best possible weekend you can.